Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be going through the basic overview of an Android application. So in the previous tutorials we have successfully created this application right in front of us, and we were successful in launching this app onto the emulator. Now in this tutorial we are going to go in a little bit of depth for understanding what an Android application is and how it works. So in order to understand Android apps better, you could take an example of a website. A website is nothing but it is a collection of a number of web pages which are linked to each other. For example, if you have a website and on the home page of a website we have links to multiple pages of the website. So basically a website is nothing but a collection of web pages linked to each other. Now in the case of Android application, instead of web pages we have these things which are called as activity. And an activity is nothing but the screen which is appearing in front of us right now is called as a single activity. Now if there is a button on this application, so if we click that button and we go onto a new page, that page is called as a new activity. So an activity in an Android app is similar to a web page of a website. So in an Android application we could have as many number of activities as we want, and an activity is nothing but the screen which appears in front of us. So that was a basic explanation of what Android activities are and how they can be used. Now the next thing which we need to study is that the activity consists of two parts. The first part of an activity is nothing but the design which appears in front of us. So as we could see, the design of an activity consists of the user interface, which has these text boxes, the text, the buttons, the status bar and all that. So this thing is nothing but the design or the overall appearance of the application, how the application appears to the user. So this is the first part of an activity. And the next part of an activity is called as the brains of the activity or the logic of the activity. So the logic of the activity or the brains of activity are nothing but the code which is used to compile the data which we have on this activity. Now in order to find the brain of this activity right here, you just simply click on app, click on Java, and you could have this file right here which is called as the main activity.java file. Now if you click on it, you'll get an idea of what the actual brains of the activity looks like. So this is basically the logic which stands behind the activity. So in this case we have the front end of our activity, which is nothing but how the activity looks to the end user, and on the back side we have this code which usually instructs the activity to perform in a certain way, or it is also used to process the data which we are going to enter into the activity. Now let's go ahead and let's design some things onto our main activity. So let's go ahead and delete this hello world. So in order to delete it, I simply click on it and then right click and click on delete. So as you could see, our activity turns blank. And now let's say if you want to add something to it, let's say we want to add a text area to it, you could go ahead right here and select this plain text view, which allows you to enter some text onto the screen or the activity. Now it is also going to show you some grid lines which are used to align your text properly. So let's say if you want to place this text area or the plain text view in the middle of the screen, you could go right here and just click on it so that you are sure that it is in the middle of the screen. So now just leave it and you'll have your text area right over here. Now as you could see, it is displaying the text to be new text. Now let's say you want to change the text of this text area or the plain text view right here. Then in order to do so, you simply click on it, or instead of clicking right here, you could go to the component tree which is shown right here. And in the component tree you could select your text view, which is nothing but this, and you simply click on it. And as you could see, there are certain number of properties of the text view listed over here. Now we could go here and we could change the content of the text view. So as you could see, this property which is named as text could be changed. So if you want to change the text of this field, you simply click on this area, and instead of this you could type my application. So now when we click on this, we'll get the text as my application. Now in order to add this my application, it can be done in two ways. So for example, if you want to edit the interface of your Android application or the activity, you could do it in two ways. So the first way is just dragging this widgets right over here and then adding it onto the screen. So this is the first way, and the next way in which you could do it is by editing into the XML. So this is the design view and this is the text view right here. So for example, if you wanted to add this text view here, so we could type in this code but it is a bit difficult to write this line of code here. So this is one more way of adding the content to your screen. So we'll prefer this method, that is because it is easy in order to drag and drop the widgets instead of just writing the code for it, and we are also going to study how you could type in the code in order to add widgets to your screen. Now this code right here, which is used in order to add some content to your screen, is called as the XML, and if you have a basic idea of HTML, then XML is easier for you to understand. So if you know the basic HTML tags, it would be easy for you to grasp the concepts of the XML. So basically these tags right here, for example this text view tag is an XML tag which is used to define a text view. So if we want to add text view, we add this text view tag, and in the text view tag we define the properties of the tag. So for example, this thing right here is used in order to define the width of the layout, and there are other certain properties which are specified in order to define our text view. So let's say we want to change the background of this activity by using XML. So in order to change it, we simply go on to this XML file with us. We simply go ahead and go here and we type the code as Android, then give a colon, then type background, and in the color we specify the color which we want to specify. So in this case, let's say we have the color as hash 006699, and it is going to change the color for us. So as you could see, when we specify the color in the XML attribute, it is going to change the background color for us, and you could change your color according to your preference. So this is one way of writing the code in XML and making changes accordingly. So now if we click design view, you could see that the changes are also reflected in this design view. So now let's say you want to change the color of this text. So if you click on it, you could also change the color by using this component tree right here. So instead of this relative layout, you simply click on the element which you want to select. So for example, this thing right here is the text view which is named as my application. So we simply click on it, and we could then go to properties and select the appropriate color for our text. So as you could see, there is a property which is called as text color. So in order to change color, you simply click on it and you could select the color which you want. So for example, if you want to select the white color, simply select it and then click OK, and it is going to change the color for you. So as you could see, the color of the text has been changed. Now one more thing which I wanted to mention in this tutorial is about the Android manifest. So as earlier explained, an Android application is nothing but a collection of a number of activities, just like a website, as a website is nothing but a collection of a number of web pages. Now in order to manage all these activities, we are going to need a file, and that file is nothing but is the Android manifest, which is present in this manifest folder right over here. So if you click on this arrow, you will get a file which is called as the Android manifest.xml. So if you click on it, you will get a basic manifest file which is nothing but an XML file which is used in order to manage all of your activities. So for example, this main activity right here is included right over here. So basically it includes all the activities which we have in our Android application, and the Android manifest will manage all the activities for us. So the main purpose of the Android manifest is to manage the activities or the Android activities and place them in a proper order. So for example, as you could see the line right here which stands for android.intent.category.launcher. So this thing right here specifies that on launching the Android application, we should have the main activity. So in this manner, if we go on adding activities to our Android application, we need to make relative changes to the Android manifest.xml. So Android manifest.xml is basically used to manage activity. So that's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.